Frank, 59, was placed under a conservatorship after he suffered a debilitating stroke on July 14, 2022 that left his decision-making capacity so impaired. Pickers Gossip can exclusively reveal Frank's lawyer filed a motion to approve attorney fees earlier this month. Frank's attorney, who was appointed to him by the court, requested the conservator, which is Midwestone Bank, to pay $1,200 in fees. The court document reads, "The undersigned respectfully requests the court approve the reasonable attorney fees in the above matter and grant authority to the court-appointed conservator to pay out such fees. The fees include $450 to visit Frank in the hospital twice, $120 for his appearance at the guardianship hearing in September 2022, $150 to review court filings, and more." Frank's friends filed an emergency appointment of a temporary guardian and conservator for the star on August 18, claiming his decision-making capacity is so impaired. The documents obtained by the U.S. Sun read, "Because of his stroke, Mr. Fritz's decision-making capacity is so impaired that he is unable to care for his own safety or to provide for necessities such as food, shelter, clothing, or medical care without which physical injury or illness may occur. Mr. Fritz's decision-making capacity is so impaired that he is unable to make, communicate, or carry out important decisions concerning his own financial affairs." An exhibit was mentioned in the court papers from a doctor, confirming Frank does not have decisional capacity. The legal papers continued, "Decisions must be made for Mr. Fritz's care and placement while he continues to recover and receive treatment for his injuries. Appointment of a guardian and conservator is necessary to avoid immediate harm to him." The petitioner requested a separate longtime friend of Frank's, who has been assisting him in decision-making since the stroke, be his guardian. Midwestone Bank is the conservator to handle Frank's financial affairs. The guardian and conservator were both approved by the court. Midwestone Bank filed an initial plan that revealed Frank's monthly expenses. Frank spends $28,292 monthly on expenses, including $22,832 on in-home health care. The health care alone will cost $273,984 yearly for the star. The court papers read, "Assets will be invested to start generating income for Mr. Fritz. The conservator has not inventoried Frank's many collectibles and antiques, but they plan to leave them largely as they are now. The conservator will work with the guardian to integrate Mr. Fritz into management decisions as he continues to recover. A checking account with a small balance will be available for Frank's personal use. The conservator will also work to apply for disability income for the protected person should he be eligible." Frank owns the antique store Frank Fritz finds in Illinois. The initial plan filed by conservator Midwestone Bank read, "Mr. Fritz is a well-known collector and has numerous outbuildings full of valuable collections. The conservator has not yet inventoried those items, but plans to leave them largely as they are now, with the exception of stocking Mr. Fritz's antique store in Savannah, Iowa as needed. Conservator is hopeful Frank will be able to participate in selection and pricing of items, as he did previously." Frank entered an Iowa rehabilitation center after his release from the hospital on September 6. Frank last appeared on American Pickers during a March 2020 episode, as he took time off to recover from back surgery, which left him with 185 stitches and 2 rods in his spine. During his time off the show, Frank lost 65 pounds. He also told the U.S. Sun that he entered rehab for alcohol addiction in Iowa for 77 days. Frank previously said, "I went to rehab and I've been sober now for 11 months. I didn't like drinking anymore. My mom was an alcoholic and she died 5 years ago, and it was alcohol related. My grandfather was an alcoholic and he died. That didn't sit well with me." Frank said of his time in treatment, "They gave me a lot of information and we were booked up for 13 or 14 hours a day. There was no sitting around watching TV or eating food. You were scheduled out for an hour, then an hour and a half, all through the day. They really give you a lot of one-on-one time. I read 12 self-help books while I was there. I didn't *** around. I really got into it. I went there to learn and get the most out of it that I possibly could. I had a great time there and I helped other people who were having problems too. It's one of the best things that have happened to me. Frank continued that he goes to meetings twice a week after the stint. Frank was open about wanting to return to the History Channel series after his hiatus, as he said, "I'd still like to get back to my job. I miss my friends and my people, and being on the road and meeting all those different characters." But Mike soon revealed Frank had been fired from the series. Frank previously confirmed to the US Sun that the longtime friends had a falling out. But in a recent interview, Mike said he hopes Frank will return to the show and that they are on good terms today.